I do love me some Spoonie.
Owned.
Did you ever watch Spoonie?
No, is that a real thing?
Spoonie? Yeah, he worked with the Nostalgia Critic and all those guys. Did you ever watch Nostalgia Critic?
No idea
man.
what that is. You could be gaslighting me right now.
Oh, it would be so funny to make you watch the Nostalgia Critic movie as part of our podcast, especially since you have no idea who he even is. Yeah. Well,
What?
wait, you're telling me you don't know who this hold on, you don't know who the Nostalgia Critic is at all? Like, not at all.
Hold on, I have to Google. Is this a real person? Are you fucking with me? Nostalgia.
Oh my god, I'm so happy I'm recording right now. This cannot be real. That you do not know who the Nostalgia Critic is and you've been watching YouTube for 10 years.
No, I have no idea who this is.
Oh my god, I wish
So unfamiliar with his art.
I oh my god, I need to be in the year 3045 so that there's the technology for me to beam all of his content into your brain right now. Dude, like, I wish you could be like, oh man. No, he reviews movies and nostalgic content and like,
Okay.
no, he's very sincere. He honestly it's awesome. Like, he honestly has an amazing channel. It's very good. But just as equally as amazing as it is, it's extremely cringy. And like, it's the only way I could describe it is that like he has made the same style of YouTube video for the last 10 years, no matter how much more his budget goes up. So it's like the cameras look better, the lighting looks better, but it's like the same exact green screen. Like, he doesn't. I don't want to say anything more. I love Doug Walker. Okay. I love the Nostalgia Critic. I have strong feelings towards his channel.
You know his government name?
Dude, yes, every
social security number is 6969.
All the critic heads know Doug Walker's name. Okay, like it's just
critic heads. There's a community.
No, I made that up. But I could say anything now and you would believe it. But all of this has been true. Yeah. All this has been true except for that. But you know the angry video game nerd. AVGN. Don't look at me like that.
No, I have seen a video or two of his.
Okay. They had a somewhat symbiotic relationship in a way online.
Oh, good for them.
At a certain point. Yeah. So okay. Man, that's crazy. This is going to have to be worked into this show some way. I'm going to have to make some Nostalgia Critic content. Like, it would be so funny to instead of having you watch a movie you've never seen, make you watch a Nostalgia Critic review of a movie you've never seen. And then we just talk about that. Oh my God. That's so good. Okay. All right. Noting that down. All right. Do you want to intro this one?
Yes, I will. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for joining me and my partner today. We're going to take you on a fabulous journey through conversation, surprise, intrigue. We got Scourge, we got Suku, and we got about an hour of your time. Maybe 2 hours, maybe 15 minutes. Let's see how quickly we can get canceled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it really depends on. And also, I think like Spotify lets you mess with the speed scale now. So this could be as long as you want it to be. If it's an hour-long podcast, put it at half time. Yeah, put it at double time. Make it a half an hour. But then we'll be talking really fast, and we'll sound like little chipmunks.
Oh, put some snare behind that, and then some hi-hats.
Alvin! You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea what you're saying. But you can find us on Patreon. That's Neon Valley Pod. You can find us on Twitter. Neon Valley Pod, subreddit, Neon Valley Pod, pretty much Neon Valley Pod. You want to find us Neon Valley Pod.
Yeah.
It's a pod thing.
Yeah, if you're brave enough to be on social media nowadays.
It's a pod thing. Nah, it's not.
It's a pod thing? Is that, you're trying to like sell a new catchphrase?
Listen, you gotta just start throwing things out there and see what.
But that
people
has
like.
nothing to do with our thing specifically. That's just podcasts. Like if you're to say it's a pod thing, that does nothing to do with Neon Valley.
It's a Valley Boy thing. Like,
I hate that though. I don't like that.
that is terrible. That's an awful thing to say.
terrible.
Don't say that to anyone.
No.
That's on the list of banned. We banned that phrase from our comment
If you
section.
comment that in our section, you will be banned from our listeners.
We will flag
Banned
you.
from our
We will-
Patreon.
We will handwrite a letter to YouTube asking your account be revoked.
We will still take your money though. We won't ban you from the Patreon. I lied. We will
Yeah,
still
no,
take your money.
Not from the Patreon.
The Patreon?
Ooh.
Is that
Get
now?
food from there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm thinking more pantry than I'm thinking panties because my brain almost went dirty, but I was like, nah, I'm thinking more pantry. You know?
I was definitely thinking of like pastry sweets.
Have you eaten yet today, Mitchell?
One time. I ate one time today.
Okay, that's actually concerning for how late it is tonight.
It was a long day. Yeah. Sometimes you forget to eat lunch.
I feel that. I feel like there's probably like a parabolic curve of how much meals matter in your lifetime, right? Because when you're a kid, it's like breakfast, lunch, dinner. Right? You sit down, breakfast, lunch, dinner. But then once you get into like your 20s and like early 30s, it's like, I just need to get home and then I can eat something. And whenever that is,
Make you home.
that'd be great, you know? And if I'm already home, I'm just going to be grazing all day, and that's fine. It's different levels. But then as you get older, like, as your daughter gets older, and you have more kids and stuff, now it's like, okay, we got to have more balanced breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Oh,
And you'll be back at it.
Absolutely.
And then you'll die.
That's the cycle of life.
I thought you were going to say that's psychotic behavior.
It is, which is also part of the cycle of life.
But thank you, Jesus Christ! Thank you everyone for joining us. We appreciate it here. Mitchell, what are you laughing at? Why can't I just casually go into a next subject without you laughing at me?
That's what you said. You said we appreciate it here.
Yeah, we appreciate it here.
Yes, we appreciate the clown it here.
What? No, tell me. Go ahead. You laughed at me. Now, tell the class grammatically what's wrong with that. Why shouldn't I say that? That makes sense. We appreciate it here.
But what is it we're appreciating?
I said thank you for joining us. We appreciate it here. What the fuck are you talking about?
Comma. It looked like you had a period.
Bro, even if there was a period, you have no ground. You have no argument, and you know it. And you're trying to weasel your way out now.
Have you checked the Oxford Dictionary?
Have I checked the Oxford Dictionary in the last hour? No, sorry. But today, yes, 5 times.
Psychopathic behavior.
Pathic, Pathic. Noun. It's not a noun. It's not. Oh god, this is exactly how I wanted this to start. I have some delicious, sexy, tasty, scrumptious things for us to talk about today. And oh man, I don't even know if we should. You know what? Never mind. They're too good. It's actually, I think they're too good for us to talk about. So
Can you at least tell me about it?
no, I think instead we should just talk about
everybody listening, just stop listening for a second. Don't worry. They're not
Tax.
listening anymore.
tax income. What?
All right, Karate Kid. Tell me the things.
There's apparently another fly in here.
It's come back for vengeance on the one you took down.
You killed my brother. You know what's so funny is I wasn't gonna get like buzzed before this, but then I read those reviews for Dragon's Age, and I got really disheartened. Do you not know about this Dragon Age thing? Oh, I'm so glad. This isn't what I was about to talk about, but it's going to lead into it.
I realize for somebody who's on a podcast who talks about pop culture, I have no idea what the fuck is going on at any given time, apparently, because I'm playing the game and I have no idea there was anybody talking about anything at all.
Dude, it's for the best. It's just enjoy your life. Do what you're doing and fuck the discourse, okay? I'll update you every week and I'll let you know.
This is how I find out what is happening in the rest of the world is on the podcast.
Slowly, I'll lose my hair while you stay voluminous. This will be the version of Dorian Gray. You will stay young as I get old and decrepit, but I will just maintain all of the knowledge of the internet.
This is no longer a podcast. This is literally just like a reality reaction.
A reality reaction?
Yeah, really fucking happening out there in the world that I'm living in. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Nobody does, dude. Well, have you heard about this thing though? So the actress who plays She-Hulk, Tatiana is her first name. I don't remember her last name, and I'm sorry, but she is suing Marvel and Disney because she wasn't in Deadpool versus Wolverine. Apparently, she had recorded scenes with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and didn't end up in the movie because they said that her acting didn't equal the snuff of Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman felt that her acting really didn't hold up, so they cut her scenes from the movie. And because of that, they didn't pay her the contractually obligated money that she was supposed to be paid in it. So here's the thing about everything I just said. It's not fucking true. None of what I just said is true.
Okay, that also makes sense.
And yet there are at least 2 to 3 YouTube videos with 800,000 plus views that say this is true. Now, of course, they keep saying the word allegations and they keep saying the word supposedly or allegedly. But when you actually research anything about this topic, you get one Reddit post from 6 months ago that has no basis. It was just a guy saying she was suing them. Wasn't true. And then another YouTuber made a video about that Reddit post. And then people use those two things as a resource for information. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see how this ties into what I was talking about just a moment ago?
Yeah. They need to pay her. That's so fucked up.
I think, well, it is entertaining looking through the comments and seeing like people getting genuinely riled up for either side. You know, because you have people like, oh, this is obvious for the woke left, just crying and whining when they don't get their way. And then you have the other side who's like, well, she deserves to get paid because she was hired, and how dare they say, and like all this stuff. And it's like, this is like the amount of like emotion this is drawing out of people in response off of nothing, off of just nothing.
It feels like escapism. I think a lot of people are just utilizing social media, posting, commenting on things that they don't like as their outlet for anger, to vent all their frustrations, and it's unfiltered and they don't care what they say or how they say it. And when it comes to misinformation, to them it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's something for them to vent on. And it's crazy how visceral people can get online because you have that you're anonymous.
There's, even though most people aren't, the funniest part is like with a 5 to 10 minute search you can find most people's personal information just based on their Twitter account or some shit, sadly enough. But
my job was finding people online.
yeah. Yeah, there's something about just garnering that reaction and having no basis. It's almost like finding what people's biases are and then reaffirming that bias and just getting a bunch of views. Like, that's really all those type of videos do.
Yeah. It's farming. It's finding things that are going to trigger people and like making the entire video just a trigger reaction video.
Yeah. It's so blatant, because people obviously were not a big fan of the Hulk show, and already there was that swath of people, a group of people who thought it was like fucking woke dog whistling and, fucking, oh man, everything's DEI hires now and all this shit. Ugh, I do think that the misinformation thing is getting out of hand a little bit, especially with AI, and more so that like the fakes. I'm not sure what you were going to say.
No, I was going to say, especially sometimes people will like ask ChatGPT something and not realize, like, there are times where ChatGPT will just fill in information if it feels it's missing, and they're using that as it's so funny because there was a point where everyone's like, oh, Wikipedia is trash, Wikipedia is terrible, and not saying like maybe Wikipedia is the most accurate source in the world, but now we're at the point where we're like a language learning, because I think everyone thinks of AI as almost like this, like we're almost like reaching like another level of understanding.
Like it's literally thinking for itself. Yeah.
Like this. Yeah. It's not. It's not making decisions for itself. It is guessing what the next. We've talked about this before. It's guessing what the next thing that would be the most likely thing to be said would be said.
Yeah.
And just giving you that information. You can get it to say whatever you want it to say in whatever way you want it to say it, because it's going to take your input and just provide that back.
Yeah.
And so again, it is as much alive as our computers are alive, or a video game NPC is alive.
100%. And the less chance you give it to talk, the more chance it has to fuck up, because as you said, it's a language learning model. So each word it uses the context of the previous word to help itself learn what it's saying and respond. So if you tell ChatGPT or any of these AI systems to give you a one-word answer, you are literally making them dumber, because you're forcing them to only respond with one language model word. Like they don't have anything to learn off of after that. So all of these people forcing it to do like, like, is the government communist? Yes or no? And then it'll say like, well, that's too complicated of an answer. And it's like, no, give me a yes or no answer. And then they say yes. It's like, that doesn't prove anything. That doesn't prove that we're a communist nation. It literally is the least amount of proof you could give me. It's just a random robot giving you a 50-50 answer because there's so many fucking things it goes through to figure out whether or not to go yes or no. It's ridiculous. And beyond that, you have like the digital fakes that, like, now we have like the audio fakes, the video, which is getting better. It's not the best, but it's getting a lot better. Yeah. And I mean, I have coworkers who are like around 18, 19 years old, and they'll come into work and be like, did you hear that shit Kamala said? Did you hear what Kanye West said? And it is just like a clip of the most obvious, like, AI generated thing.
Yeah.
But you have to wonder how many people like them are just watching it and going, whoa, that's fucking crazy. Can't believe they said that. Like, they didn't. Yep. Nobody would. Don't.
Like, I don't. We're going to get to a point where it's going to be hard to trust any of the information unless it's from Neon Valley Podcasts, in which case you can guarantee it's 100% whatever we decide it to be. But we're going to tell you that up front.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe we won't.
No. I also did want to bring up that I heard there's a big, speaking of, like, we were talking about misinformation, but I recently saw something in the news that like really struck me that being in Oregon, I haven't been able to keep up to date with the recent alligators in Vegas, but I saw a news report that, dude, are you kidding me? Four people got dragged into the gutters, like in broad daylight. This wasn't even at night. It was like 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. It was like four like 16 to 18-year-old kids, right? Like, you tell the story. You probably know better because you're in Vegas.
So as you had brought it up on the last one, the alligators made the agreement with the people living in the cities under Las Vegas because they have the giant sewer system, doesn't rain too much, so we have the cities in there. So what the agreement was the sewer people would bring the alligators, like, I don't want to call it a sacrifice, but an offering.
Wait, so the sewer people are bringing the alligator sacrifices?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, they don't want to get eaten. What the alligators got to eat?
Wait, but there's being captures in broad daylight. Are you hold on? You're saying that there's underground people in Vegas dressing up as alligators, capturing people, and bringing them to the real alligators?
Those are the allegations.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, there's an entire gang of alligators. They're calling it the Alligang for now. Not like the most clever name, but
no, they could have workshopped that, but they probably didn't have enough time. They probably like had a news reporter asking like, what's your name? Alligang. Like, they didn't have time. Like, some dude probably in the back just yelled it. And
then the lead was just like, why the fuck did you say that? We never agreed on like a name. You're making us look bad. But
camera's cut. It's too late. Yeah.
It's getting dicey. So.
And I keep hearing people call them the Las Vegas crocodiles. That's such bullshit. They're so different. Alligators and crocodiles are not the same. Crocodiles could not exist in the Las Vegas climate. Let's get that first. Let's get that straight.
Doesn't make any sense at all. They
scientifically,
would not survive in, like, mead.
No, crocodiles could not survive in a desert climate. But alligators, I've been seeing some crazy shit. I just thought, okay, that you've illuminated quite a bit though. So we have, wow, plot just thickens, because
it's getting dangerous out here. I can definitely say that.
I see. So is there any precautions that you, like, as a family, do you do anything before you leave the house just to make sure you don't get attacked?
So what they're recommending, you've heard of pepper spray. There's lemon spray. It's similar.
Oh.
Has a much fresher scent to it, but it stings like the dickens. For some reason, that permeates the skin a little bit better on the alligators. I've heard,
they don't like citrus. Like alligators and like lemon, citrus, they don't like it. It burns their reptile skin. The well-known
and that's
fact.
Also why the Alligang has been burning down McDonald's because the Sprite is so crisp.
Oh, people have been throwing the Sprites on the alligators.
Dissolves them.
Genius, though. Those genius of those people. Revolutionaries at their finest.
So be on the lookout for the Alligang. They're definitely going to come for you. And
if you have any Minute Maid sitting in your pantry, load it up, baby. Keep that shit ready to go, because the alligators are probably coming for you.
You're going to need it.
You're going to need
it. You're going to need it.
It's bad out there, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Anyway, I tried playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
I heard about that game.
Yeah, just came out recently. It's free on Game Pass. So I was like, yeah, dude, fuck it. There seems to be a wave of Call of Duty games that I ride where every like 4 to 5 games, I'm like, yeah, let's play this one. And then, they lose me on the next few. I think the last one I played was the Modern Warfare remake that had the online mode during COVID was mainly the reason I was playing it, because there's nothing better to do. But I tried downloading this game, and first off, it's about 120 gigabytes, which, all right, whatever. Video games nowadays. So I waited for that. But then after I downloaded it and tried to play it on the Xbox app, it told me that my Xbox account did not match my Microsoft account. So I needed to fix that before I could play the game. So I was like, okay, all right, I'll do that. So I go into the website and it takes about 5 minutes or so. I'm like, all right, do that. And I get into the game. It takes a little while to load up. The DRM and the anti-cheat thing takes about 5-10 minutes to load up. Okay. Finally, it loads up. It tells me that I need to sign into my Call of Duty account. I'm like, okay. So I try to figure out which email is attached to that, sign into that. Finally get that figured out. Took about 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes. And then I finally get into the game and it says, what do you want to play? And I was like, okay, well, I just want to play the Black Ops 6 campaign. That's what I downloaded. That's what I want to play. I want to play the story mode. So I click on the story mode. Do you know what it does, Mitchell? It closes the game. It closes the app that you're in and then opens another app that then has to go through the process that I just described to you. So I have to do that again. And then it says, hey, by the way, do you have an Activision account? I'm like, well, I must have one of those too. So I figure out what that is, but I don't know the password. So I have to change the password. And then I finally get into the game and they're like, do you want to play the story? And I look at the clock and it's 10:70. And I look at the clock, it's 10:45 and I got to be up at 4:30 in the morning. And I went, okay, guess I'll play this tomorrow.
Damn. Man, they got you all the way up to 1070.
All the way up to 1070, dude. I just wanted to play a video. The funniest part is that the next day I played it and about 20 minutes in, I was like, this fucking sucks. And I just stopped playing it. I deleted it.
It was that bad.
I mean, it's just Call of Duty. First off, the intro is a fever dream. I was a little bit. I think it was the night of the election, so I was pretty fucked up. I was pretty drunk when I played it, but I genuinely don't think my level of intoxication affected how insane the intro of this game is when it just jumps around to 7 different locations, 14 different plot points, people saying like fucking they're trying to give you a badass line like, yeah, well, we're gonna get them this time, but they're all talking in those kind of lines and you're just like, what the fuck is happening? And then the game starts and you have to shoot people and you're like, okay. I just couldn't do it. And then deleted it. So that was my experience with Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Fucking 10 out of 10, baby.
I downloaded it with the hopes that my wife and I could play zombies together.
Yeah.
I don't think they have couch co-op anything anymore.
God damn it, dude. Yeah, we've lost all semblance of like what makes gaming fun.
The whole point was playing with friends, and they're like, what if we excluded the people you live with?
I genuinely like Nintendo's pretty good at that. They still have a grasp on that. But
yeah, they get it.
Yeah, Nintendo is still run though by people who like respect gaming and what it is for now. Who knows how long that'll last? That might change. But they still seem to understand what makes a good game a good game.
And it's not DLC. There's not a bunch of paywalls. You're not paying for cosmetics. Like,
it's not graphics. It's not like just, you know what I mean? This
we're gonna make Mario Golf on the Switch. It's gonna be motion control. You're gonna be able to play online matches to unlock like different outfits for your characters. You're not gonna pay anything extra. You paid for the game. You get the full game. I think at one point they released new maps for free for it.
Yeah.
I might be mistaken on that, but Nintendo gets it.
Not to say that Nintendo doesn't do things that are stupid and a little bit scummy. Like, I don't like how they still have the Pokemon model of releasing 2 games with separate Pokedexes that you have to either buy both of or know someone with the other one and then go through extensive trading to get all of the Pokedex. That is just a blatant, clear marketing scheme to get you to buy 2 games. You don't have to do. We have enough memory on cards now and get to put all of the Pokemon onto one game. You don't have to sell 2 games. It does. There's no reason. None.
I never looked at it from the capitalist standpoint.
That's all it is.
Well, because here's the way I thought of it, right?
Okay.
In actual Pokemon, one of the big points of Pokemon is trade your Pokemon. In fact, you can't get some Pokemon without trading. So I thought the mindset was always they want to get people to play with each other. And you would be able to get all those Pokemon by trading with other people.
Well, if you could not battle... Well, I'm sorry, how do I word this? But isn't battling alone just the draw for... I mean, that's the main draw for playing with other people. Like, I don't give a fuck about trading. Like, of course it's fun. Like, yeah, sure. Like, especially if you have a version I don't have because they forced you to only have a version that I don't have. Yes, I'm excited to get that thing. That does give me a dopamine rush. But at the same time, what I want to do is battle with my friend. That's really what I'm trying to do. And we've already gotten there. We have the internet capabilities of just making it so I think it's kind of an antiquated capitalistic thing to just make it so that you have to buy 2 games to have a full Pokedex. It's kind of shitty. And just the second thing that Nintendo does is they do the fake scarcity thing where they only release things for a certain limited amount of time and then go like, well, we only have so much of it, so sorry. Like, you can't get Mario Galaxy now and Super Mario 64 Remake. Those are off of the Nintendo store. Those don't exist anymore. You had a limited time to buy those remakes, and if you didn't, well, sorry. You can't have it now, even if people are willing to give you money. I want to give you money, Nintendo. I want to play Super Mario Galaxy, but I can't. And I might be thinking
they're anti-capitalistic.
No, well, I don't know how to put it. It's weird because I think they create that false scarcity so that a lot of people will buy it all at one time, because it's like, I don't know if it boosts their numbers for like investors. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what gain they get from it, but they have to, because why? Why else would you not just let people buy the game that they want to buy from you? Because you can't freaking pirate it. If they did that, but then let people pirate it in some kind of way without clearly fucking suing every single person that ever tries to touch any Nintendo property ever, then maybe I'd kind of respect it a little bit. But yeah, it's so strange because, like I said, I respect Nintendo so much because they understand what a game is to be a game, and they make they make fun games that are just engaging, but they also hate the people that buy their games. they just irrevocably hate the people who want to actively purchase their items. It's like, I'm sorry. I want to buy your game, dude.
How dare you? You can't have it. It's mine.
Yeah.
I made it to sell, and you know what? I'm done selling it. We're not selling anymore.
No. So, okay, I feel like I've ranted and talked enough. You've played Dragon's Age Veilguard? Yes. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
What has been your initial thoughts? Because you apparently don't know anything about the controversy. I'm interested to hear.
No. So I've played a good amount of it. I've only unlocked one new character of the many characters you get in these kind of games. You know, you get a lot of companions. So you get 2 to start off, but then there's many more you come across. So I haven't gotten very far, but I've enjoyed it. I do remember when I was playing the first one, I had thought, okay, it felt like maybe a little bit slow at the start. You don't have as much access to as many areas, but it very much became a game where once that world opened up, I was fully invested. I loved all the different
When you say the
aspects of it.
first one, do you mean Inquisition?
Or Inquisition, yeah,
Oh,
not the
okay,
first one,
okay.
the most recent one. Now, one of the things that I'm really liking about this game that I felt was different from the Dragon's Age Inquisition, was the first one again, was Inquisition. I felt like I ended up playing that a lot more of the further back third person point of view, sometimes the overhead part when you were doing the combat, especially when you're trying to time things. This is a lot more of almost like, Dark Souls, where you're a lot more engaged in combat. You can use like the right bumper to select the special abilities of your allies, or you can just use triggers to have it do it. So it's not like you're pausing combat to do something and then you're back in combat. You can maintain being in combat, activating your abilities, which I really like. It makes the combat feel a lot more fun. It doesn't feel like I am playing it on it's underdog. It's like their hard setting. It is challenging, but not to the point where it's like a Dark Souls game where it's like you have to memorize this specific attack pattern. You can memorize it. You have a little bit of freedom. They put some health potions, but overall, I've absolutely enjoyed it. It's so funny because the only times like I have to just stop playing it is I get so tired that I'm like falling asleep during cutscenes. But that is more of having a long day, being a dad, and I'm like, oh, finally I can play video games.
Yeah.
Immediately nodding off. But I've really enjoyed it so far. I think the voice acting is really well done. I think they did a good job in terms of the character creator, because it's something that I do enjoy when you can really customize your character more. But what's interesting is, I kind of like this, your character is a new character, new story. It asks you about the choices you made in your last game. So where like Mass Effect is actually taking the last save file and using that for each game. This is saying, okay, what were the big choices you made in terms of, did you let the Inquisition remain? Did you abolish it? Who is your love interest? And then even having you like redesign what your character looked like. And so I haven't encountered how they're going to interact that with the game. But I'm hopeful. I'm excited. I'm went into it definitely more on a bias side because I was a big fan of the series, big fan of BioWare. I've still enjoyed the game so far, so that is where I'm at.
All right. So I haven't played it yet. I didn't even realize it came out. I forgot it came out like on Halloween, I think, right? The 31st.
Yep.
And I was curious coming into this episode because I think when we were going to record the last one, we had talked about like, oh, maybe we'll talk about predictions of what it'll be like. But then I forgot that by the time we recorded this one, it had already come out. So I looked up some reviews and I was genuinely surprised to see that the user score for Dragon Age The Veilguard on Metacritic is a 3.8 out of 10.
Whoa.
Yes.
What?
It is being insanely review bombed. And let me just read some of the reviews and maybe you'll start to get an idea of why. 0 out of 10 by Hectic 911. Terrible story and repetitive gameplay, constantly pushing genders and dialogue regarding trans and non-binary that should never have been added to an RPG about dragons. Right. Okay, let's just scroll down here a little bit. 0 out of 10. This isn't a game. This is politics. This game shoves woke culture down your throat and expects us to swallow it.
Okay, I just want to say Dragon's Age Inquisition literally had an entire portion of it that was politics based, where you had to gain favor with nobility and your actions affect, like, that is literally the fucking game you bought to play. That is what these games have always been. This is not new for them.
Yes, and a lot of
This
these
is not new for the series.
a lot of these reviews are coming from people who act like they're like, oh, this is so, like, what are they doing to this series? You played Inquisition a lot more than I did. I actually want to replay it before I play Veilguard, because I never beat it. I played a lot of it, but I never beat it because I kept doing that thing where I'm restarting it. You know what I mean? But real quick before from what I've played, there are 1, gay characters, 2, strong female characters, including one of the first companions that you fucking interact with.
Cassandra, yep.
Yes, and then there's stupid ass men who are viewed as being like, oh, masculine but dumb from the very beginning. Like, these are all things that the woke culture, anti-woke culture hates. You know what I mean? And yet these were in Inquisition within the first 20 minutes of the game, and everyone fucking loved that game. I don't get it. I don't get it. And even here, they're 8 out of 10. I don't understand the hate. This game doesn't deserve it. This is such a good game. Not perfect, not without drawbacks, just simple, light, relaxing game. And then I even have a fair review here that I was trying to find. I was waiting for the racist, or not even racist, I'm sorry, the anti-woke, anti-DEI commentary. Yeah. But this person just seemed to be a big fan of the Dragon's Age series, and they said 6 out of 10. They said BioWare and EA just don't understand Dragon Age anymore and continue to deviate further from the dark fantasy role-playing in favor of action-adventure with a dialogue wheel. And they kind of go on to explain how, like, they feel like your companions you don't have much control over your companions. You're kind of forced to work with them. If you disagree with them, you can't really kick them to the curb and all this. And I was like, okay, these are fair complaints. You know what I mean? Like, that's totally fair. And they never went on to say anything. And I was like, okay, totally fair. And then the next fucking review is just 1 out of 10. The story is disastrous and exists only to support agendas. The characters are very ugly and disgusting. The dialogues are horrible, useless, and full of consciousness. Wait, what? Did I just read that? That's what it says. Useless and full of consciousness? Do they not want to think? Do they not want to be present? Do they not want to, like, exist? What do they mean?
I want a game that's going to put me into a fucking coma. Like, what?
Bruh, that's crazy. Okay, I did have one more thing I wanted to say about it, which obviously we could talk more about it in general, but I went on to Reddit to see how people on Reddit felt about it, because I was like, oh, there's always, like, this is Metacritic. Metacritic is famous for getting, like, review bombs based on people's strong feelings. So I was like, okay, are people commenting about that on Reddit? So I looked up one, and there was a comment on a Reddit post talking about, like, why is this getting so much hate from the anti-woke crowd? And then someone responded and said, I'm laughing my ass off at the gamers who want a non-homosexual option in this game. If you reached the gay option, it means you made several decisions leading you to it, and you should ask yourself, how did I get here?
Bro, okay, hold on. I have to absolutely expand on this because that's fucking hysterical. And big shocker, I'm married to a woman. I'm a straight man.
Whoa.
Yeah. Guess what? I haven't had any gay interactions in my games. It's weird. I played all of the Mass Effect series. I'm playing Andromeda now. Well, taking a pause while I'm playing this. Played Dragon's Age Inquisition. Guess what? Every time you have your three options, you're either angry, you respond kind of funny. I feel like there's more personality options now in the wheel tree.
Okay.
Or you can, be like really friendly, or there's another option to the left. And that option is usually flirty. And there's literally a fucking heart symbol that comes up if you select that option. So again, if you pick that, you are specifically engaging in that activity. You're putting the gay in engaging.
Dude, like, I purposely do it. So I know when I'm doing it. I mentioned I was playing Starfield. Like, I flirt so hard with Sam Cooke all the time because I know that it's the flirting option, and I can tell it's the flirting option.
It's very obvious. It's not like they're trying to trick you.
No, if there is a closeted hetero Republican man out there who is seeing these options and thinking that it's just like friendly banter, dude, you need to look inward. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because you're making intentional decisions to reach those interactions.
That shit is really funny to think about, though. Like, because I never thought about that either. Because even in Skyrim, because I had seen some past things where people were like, oh man, like, how dare they push a gay agenda in Skyrim? I never came across a gay storyline. I've played 300 to 400 hours, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that I personally have never done it as a straight male. So, like, I don't.
It's so funny. Like, Skyrim is even funnier, right? Because there are relationships and even I don't know if quests, but different missions that happen because of the relationships you're in. But Skyrim, it was just the option.
Yeah.
So what they're mad at is you have the option.
You got tricked. You got tricked into being gay, bro. You're so gullible. You got tricked into being gay, dude.
God damn it, BioWare! Why did you make me like this?
Oh my god, I'm losing it. Holy. Okay. This actually leads perfectly into our final game of the night.
Oh my god.
We're going to play Is This Game Woke? So, I've mentioned this to you before in private. I don't think we've said it on the podcast, but there is a famous...
I'm going to fail so hard.
There's a famous Steam channel. How do I put that? A Steam group, I guess, that reviews games. And they review them solely on the basis of whether or not they are woke. And if they are woke, you should avoid them at all costs. And some of these are insane. And I feel the need to give you context because this is going to be a little game here. And you're going to have three choices. Your answers are either going to be not recommended, recommended, or informational. Now, the first two seem pretty obvious, and they'll come with caveats of explanations. The third one, informational, means that you can play it, but you should be aware of something going on. Nefarious. Do you understand? Something woke. Do you understand what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
All right. We're going to start off... Well, I was about to say we're going to start off easy. I don't know if it's easy. Let's find out. Our first game today is GTA Vice City. Classic.
And it's so funny because on one hand, there are things like the police attacking you for no reason. But on the other hand, a lot of the times they like that shit. So it's like, that's not woke to them. I'm going to say not woke, informational.
Informational? Okay, so you're saying not recommended, but informational. Like,
yep.
Okay. You're wrong. Sorry. This game is not recommended at all.
Okay. All right.
Yes. This is a 0 out of 10 for the woke content detector.
Yep.
Because it exaggerates and ridicules conservatives right and even libertarian talking points, but doesn't do the same to the left.
The fucking radio stations in the car.
Don't get me wrong. I do think that there are plenty of things that you can make fun of for the extreme left. But my favorite thing about all of this is that they don't realize that, like, you're the easiest to make fun of. Like, you are the like there is, you can't, it's harder to make fun of the left because all it's doing is being progressive and trying to help. Meanwhile, like, you have an entire group based on hate. Like, there is no, like, what can you convince me is your other stance?
Yep.
So you know what I mean?
Not understanding how tariffs work. It's
you can't even get it. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. But all right, next game. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 remake. Skateboarding game classic. I mean, you just skateboard, so.
I gotta say that's good. I can't. I actually played that. I can't think of. Yeah, that one's good to go.
Yeah, recommend, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. Not recommended. Contains subtly pro-LGBTQ plus and overtly anti-free speech messaging. No distinction between male and female during character customization. Promotes COVID masking and social distancing.
Hold on.
Yeah?
Because that last part was crazy, but
Oh, the last part was crazy.
But there was what was the second thing you said? What was
contains subtly pro-LGBTQ and overtly anti-free speech messaging, or just no distinction between male and female during character customization.
I love that they're saying it is anti-free speech when, like, those games embody, like, the rebel spirit, right?
You're
like,
skateboarding in a mall.
Like, what do you mean? Do you think skateboarders are going around saying, we're here to take your right to speech? You can't talk no more? What? Like, that is the most free speech group.
No, you're
and they're
so
always
right.
like, oh, that's not the speech we like. That doesn't count.
It's a woke game. Do not play it, Mitchell. You got stuck in a Hawk Tua? Tony Hawk Tua? All right, Mafia 1. Mafia series, very
informational.
It's recommended. No woke content. That's all it says. Mafia 2.
Recommended?
Recommended. No woke content. Very good, Mitchell. Mafia 3.
Not recommended.
Not recommended. You're getting this. Contains overtly pro DEI, which didn't exist when this game came out, and overtly pro LGBTQ plus messaging. Features black criminal groups instead of the mafia. Okay. Features multiple improbable... Hold on. This is my favorite. Features multiple improbable female authority figures, one of whom is lesbian. So women don't have power. Do you understand what I'm saying, Mitchell? It is unreasonable. Improbable female authority figure, one of whom is a lesbian. This is their reasoning.
Bro, I don't think our podcast is going to get recommended.
I don't even know how to... It's improbable that it'll get recommended.
Yeah, because all that shit. That is just like someone decided, I'm going to make a website that's based on reviewing things that I hate. Because, like, that's what they're focusing. They're focusing on all the things they don't like, but they treat it in a way as if, like, it is an absolute fact that anything that falls under DEI or whatever is, like, bad.
Yeah.
That is, like, not true, and there's science to prove that it is beneficial.
I I have to hope, right, that the people who made this are joking. Right? Like, I think that the people responding to it and like using it on Twitter, they might not be joking. But I just hope that the people who made it are joking. But I don't think they are. I mean, look at the fucking election. I don't want to bring it up, but I don't think they're joking.
Yeah, it's
Anyway, I don't want to. I'm sorry. We got to move on. I don't want to. We're gonna go. Sonic Adventures DX. It's a Sonic game. Adventures DX. I'm not trying to set you up. Believe me, it's easier than you think. It's Sonic. I'm not trying to trick you.
I gotta say recommended. I literally can't think of anything.
You dumb son of a bitch, it's not recommended.
God damn it.
It contains subtly pro-climate action, subtly anti-colonialism, and subtly pro-LGBTQ plus messaging. See the
does
full
somebody
review
think
for details.
colonialism is a good thing?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, dude, we wouldn't have America without it, so shut your goddamn gourd, if I'm being honest.
My God.
We wouldn't be in this sweet country if it weren't for it, so you can shut up.
What's funny is
I can shut
I'm
you
Mexican.
down.
My people were the country before.
I don't think so. In fact, I think Spaniards invaded Mexico before we did. So technically,
that's what made Mexicans.
that is actually true. And I do think that it's so funny that people use that as an excuse to be like, hey, fucking Spaniards aren't that bad. They invaded fucking Mexico first. You know, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, you're like, that's not a good thing.
Like, what are you talking about? All right. Farming Simulator 2022.
That's got to be recommended.
Informational. So kind of recommended, but
What could they possibly be concerned about in Farming Simulator?
so it contains subtly pro LGBTQ messaging. There is no distinction between male and female during character creation. I need to stop right here and I just need to say something. What do they mean? Right? Because like I get what they're saying where it's like, oh, you can't press a button that says male and I can't press a button that says female. But do you not know what you look like? Or do you not know what you want your character to look
you're
like?
The player.
Like, yeah, like, like what?
I just
Like,
if you're watching our podcast and you believe that a game is woke because you can't definitively pick between being a man or a woman, you're a dumb fucking idiot. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I don't know where you got hit in the head, but the fact that we're at this point in a society for a group that cares so much about the freedom of speech and I want my rights, but you don't give a fuck when anybody else wants basic human. I can't. I just fucking can't.
Dude, no, it's unbelievable. And it's the most basic thing. It's a fucking video game that's asking you to create a character. It's not how could you be that upset over it blows my mind. It blows my mind.
They're that upset about a character creator. We are this disappointed that as a society, that is something that you give such a fuck about. Like,
yeah, I mean, sure, yeah, I care that much about this, so they can be like, oh, look at the fucking, but like, it just hurts. It hurts, you know.
Oh man.
All right, last one. Injustice 2. DC Comics. Gods Among Us. I mean, you know.
Any of the characters in it, because I have played that one. I'm like, I don't think any were.
All right, you're gonna love this one.
I'm gonna say recommended.
Mitchell, you're gonna love this one. This is informational. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because it features multiple characters who are canonically LGBTQ+, such as Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and Catwoman. DC, they're upset that DC characters who have existed since the 60s, the 70s,
50s
are in a DC game because they're women and they might possibly kiss other women. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Man, that's just dumb as fuck. That is insane. That is insane.
Like, I thought when I read this, there was going to be some things, like, I didn't think I was going to agree with any of it, of course, but I thought maybe they would say something where it's like, oh shit, like, I didn't
think about it that way.
Didn't realize they said that in that game. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like randomly in the middle of Injustice, fucking Catwoman screamed, "Freedom for gays." You know, it's like, whoa, that's kind of random. Why the fuck would she say that? No. They like it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
The fact that their reasoning to not play Injustice 2 is because it features Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and Catwoman is insane. Like, that's
a DC character fighting game, and you don't want characters. You care more about a fake agenda you've created than you do about the game being you don't like video games. You just like complaining about shit.
You just like hating people. It's just blatant now, right? Though, because they just don't like women or minorities. Like, it's so blatant now. It used to be veiled, right, under some kind of guise.
It was subtle. I had a guess. Now,
yeah, like, oh, maybe. Now it's just like, if you don't hate minorities, you're fucking woke. It's like, what? Yeah. Like, what do you?
Yeah, it's like there was a woman in this game. It's funny that they're so like anti-women. It's like weird. You prefer men that much? Like, damn.
Well, that's why they keep picking them in Dragon's Age. You know, that's the problem. They can't figure it out.
Oh my god.
Okay, we got to wrap this up.
What a wild ride this has been.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the election, but there were sprinklings in there, and if people want to, if people want to gauge their own, response of what we've said,
pretty easy to figure out. Yeah.
I feel the need to say one thing. If you've made it this long in the podcast, it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm just gonna say one thing. That if you voted for the person who will be our next president in January of 2025, you have voted for nothing but intrinsic hate. There is no other grounds or policies in which you voted for, and you've shown me no other credence. Whether it's hate for trans people, or immigrants, or literally anyone who has any progressive thought ever, you don't have any other emotion or feeling other than hate. And it is sad.
Oh, they have greed. They also, if they're really rich, then fuck everybody so they could have a few
apathy. Apathy is the other one, right? It's hate and apathy. Yeah, because if you're rich enough, you're apathetic to it. You don't care. Why would the fuck would you care? So to see this many people vote based on apathy and hate is really disheartening and really sad, and I think reflects a lot of the things we've talked about today, even though we've talked about them in more of a lighthearted video game sense. There's a lot of misinformation and hate that is being spread through small groups of echo chambers right now that seem to be hyping each other up and thinking that they are the next revolution, imagining themselves as this French Vive la France, you know?
I love the majority thinks that they're starting a revolution. It's like,
Yes.
no, you guys are just continuing to keep the rest of us down. That's all. You guys are just preventing
And
us.
eating yourself within the inside. Like you're literally a snake eating its own tail. You don't even realize it. Like where does the hate end? Like, because you hate your own government, but now the guy who is your president is the government. So do you continue to hate? Like, the logic doesn't add up. And I feel sorry for the future. And I hope, my only hope is that in times like this, while I can admit that it's not me, and I wish it was, I wish I was stronger, whatever, I wish I had more power or more drive to do whatever this might be. I just hope that in moments like this, there's a karmic balance where there's a person out there who sees this and becomes the natural balancing driving force to say, fuck that. I am now going to fight even harder, fight even stronger against this adversary, because yeah, it's we definitely cannot buckle in a time like this.
Yeah. We need Cyborg Jesus.
Ooh, I don't know, dude. Cyborg Jesus, because all I'm thinking is Elon Musk and in the Catholic Church, and I'm thinking if you combine those two things. Catwoman. I'm just saying, if there was a robot Jesus in politics right now, he's voting for Trump. Okay. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
He's powered on faith.
Well, he's robot, so he's powered on unobtainium. From
Unobtainium.
Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. If you got really pissed off and upset about shit we've said, comment. Let us know. Tell us.
Yes, feed the algorithm so you continue getting more content like this.
Shh, don't
No.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them the secret. Don't tell them. Yeah, get mad. Ugh.
You dumb bitches.
Stupid assholes. Fucking god damn it. Anyway, good luck, America. Bye. Oh god.
Did you purposely do that?
Nope. That was not on purpose at
I
all.
was not expecting it, and then just